35 years later, Darwin promulgating his theory of evolution and suggesting then survival only of the fittest as the fundamental cause of it. Then we have the economists saying, all right, we like that, but Darwin said, did not develop this in economics. It did not mean that the economists said, well, it fits our case perfectly. Then we have Karl Marx in England saying he now accepts Malthus as pure science as a closed system. It's a closed system, hard fact. And we have Darwin, survival only the fittest. So Karl Marx said quite clearly the worker is fittest to survive because he knows how to handle the tools to make all the products, how to grow the seeds and things. These other people are parasites. Other people said, we're obviously not parasites. We're top of the heap because the workers are so dull. We need some really bright people around here. Make some important kind of long-distance visionary speculations. So we have then, since that time, a closed system Earth instead of flat Earth, where suddenly, instead of being dichotomy of different kind of religions, we have the socialist viewpoint and the out-and-out enterprise. Various degrees between the two, but we have since that time on our planet the great ideologies saying, you may not like our system personally, but we're convinced we have the fairest, most logical, most ingenious way of coping with lethal inadequacy of life support. But because there are those who disagree diametrically on how to cope, it can only be resolved by trial of arms, which system is fitted to survive. And that's the reason, for instance, that Russia and the United States for the last 30 years have been appropriating over $200 billion a year, some total now over $6 trillion been appropriated to buying the highest capability of humanity and focusing on how to destroy it most accurately, most effectively, at greater and greater distance, swifter and swifter. This is it seems like an incredibly poor investment of all that we really learned. But anyway, that's where it's gone.
Waiting, or you will lose it. Any day. Any day. Any day. Any day. Any day. Any day.
Something I haven't said anything about tonight at all. 1927, I made up my mind to make myself an experimental, well, see a little individual could really do, and do everything with artifacts, not trying to reform human beings, but by participating in the environment itself, because I saw you and I, 60% water, and we're hydraulically designed, hydraulic compression, etc., that water freezes and boils within very small limits. We'd have to be in the biosphere. And any other information-gaining phenomena operating on Mars will not look the way we do on this particular planet here, the biosphere. So I came to thinking about many things, certainly about life and integrity and mind, and I came to the working conclusion I was just all overwhelmed by the a priori intellectual integrity of our universe, that there were those generalized principles to be discovered, and that they really were a great design, and that it only could be intellectually expressed mathematically. So I said,
You've got to get on it. You must save the planet. No time to keep waiting, or you will lose it any day. You've got to get on it. You must save the planet. No time to keep waiting, or you will lose it any day. You've got to get on it. You must save the planet. No time to keep waiting for our spaceship bills. You've got to get on it. You must save the planet. No time to keep waiting for our spaceship bills.
I'm overwhelmed with a great integrity, and I'm assuming then that I've been born at a moment when somebody's supposed to get in, poking their necks through. The information is here, and I became really very much an outsider, because I just wanted to understand I did not make good at the game of making money and so forth. I lost a lot of my friends' money. I was not only unknown generally, but pretty much a disgrace to the few who did know me. And I said I'm pretty much a throwaway, and I'd like to see what would happen if you really made an assumption about all things as I've been giving to you, that it was implicit that we could do someday so much for little, take care of everybody. It was also, seemed to me, that I saw that human beings having this great hunger and so forth, gradually learning how to domesticate a milk cow, then learning how to take the hide of the cow and make shoes, and the shoe man making more shoes than he could wear. The shoe man wants a milk cow, and the milk cow man wants a pair of shoes. They realize they can't cut the cow up and still milk it. So the man who grew the milk cow took him much more time to grow the milk cow than the man to make shoes. So this is when they invented money to make up for that. So I saw that nature, in order then to have human life going on our planet, but needing a great deal of energy. I spoke about having to have the vegetation to impound the sun radiation for us, and incidentally to be completely anti-entropic, as to take the random receipts and convert them back to beautiful, orderly molecular structures, and which other creatures could employ to grow more and more orderly types of species. And so that this was a very anti-entropic affair. At any rate, with the vegetation then doing this impounding and being rooted, it couldn't reach the other vegetation to procreate. So nature then invented all the mobile creatures, whether worms or butterflies, to go back and forth and traffic between all the vegetations to cross-pollinize them. But nature didn't say to the honeybee, I want you to go out and cross-pollinize all this vegetation. What nature did was give the bee a chromosomic instruction to go after honey, just continually after honey, and inadvertently to knock off the pollen. So I saw nature was accomplishing all these things at 90 degrees. She gave drive like that. So I saw, then she had all these human beings, a honey money drive going after money, and they got to sting it. Anybody try to take away from them, sting them. So I said, but what she's really doing is at 90 degrees. So I said, supposing then I make the working assumption that what I've given them to, that we have a function. If I committed myself to trying to abet that by developing environment controls that help to make them able to function more effectively, it could be that if I was doing what nature wanted, I'd get on. It'd be very mysterious, but so I made a working assumption of enormous. I said I have to have absolute faith in the integrity of the universe, and that if I'm doing what nature wants, I'll find myself getting on. So that is 52 years ago, and I have gone on all this time, and I've had to say, only the impossible has happened.